I'll tell you a true horror story that took place in the infamous Laperal White House in Baguio. I warn you, it's not for the faint of heart. My friends and I were always drawn to the supernatural. So when we heard about the haunted reputation of the Laperal White House, we couldn't resist the temptation to explore it ourselves. We gathered our courage and planned to spend the night there, hoping to uncover the mysteries hidden within its walls. As we approached the house, an overwhelming sense of dread washed over me. The once grand mansion now stood in a state of decay, its white facade tainted by time and the stories it held. Despite the daylight, shadows seemed to dance along its windows, as if trying to lure us in. "Are you sure about this?" I hesitated, glancing at my friends, hoping one of them would share my reservations. "We've come this far. We can't back down now," Alex replied with a nervous grin, trying to sound brave. With a collective deep breath, we stepped through the creaking front door. The air inside felt heavy, as if we were intruding on something otherworldly. We each took a moment to steel ourselves before exploring the ground floor. The interior was a mix of dusty remnants and ominous silence. Cobwebs clung to the corners and the musty smell of decay assaulted our senses. Despite the decay, the architecture revealed the mansion's former splendor. As we moved through the rooms, a strange sensation washed over me, like we were being watched by unseen eyes. We brushed it off as nerves, blaming the eerie atmosphere for playing tricks on our mind. But as the sun set and darkness draped the house, things took a sinister turn. "Did you hear that?" Emma whispered, her voice quivering. We all fell silent, straining to listen. There it was again, a faint whisper carried on the wind. The sound seemed to originate from the upper floors. "We should check it out," I suggested, my curiosity overpowering my fear. Ascending the grand staircase, each step echoed through the empty halls. We couldn't shake the feeling that we were intruders in someone else's domain. On the second floor, the whispers grew louder. It was as if the walls themselves were whispering secrets from the past. My heart pounded, and I could see the same fear mirrored in my friend's eyes. In one of the rooms, we found an old photograph. Its edges faded with time. It depicted a family, smiling happily, but their eyes seemed to hide a sorrowful secret. A cold breeze brushed past us, causing the photograph to flutter in our hands. "We should leave," Alex said, his voice shaking. But before we could react, a loud crash echoed from the end of the hallway. We rushed towards the sound, only to find a broken mirror lying shattered on the floor. It was as if the spirits residing within the house wanted to make their presence known. As the night wore on, the activity seemed to escalate. Doors slammed shut on their own, and cold spots sent shivers down our spines. The faint sound of footsteps echoed through the halls, but when we investigated, we found no one there. Terrified, we huddled together in one room, hoping that staying close would offer some protection from the unknown forces surrounding us. But the darkness seemed to feed on our fear, growing stronger with each passing moment. In a desperate attempt to find answers, we decided to conduct a makeshift seance. Placing our hands on an old Ouija board, we nervously asked if anyone was there. To our astonishment, the planchette began to move on its own, spelling out chilling messages. D-E-W-A-R-E, the board spelled out, and a sudden chill filled the room. Panicking, we broke contact with the Ouija board, but the damage was done. The supernatural activity intensified, and we felt an overwhelming malevolence in the air. Amidst the chaos, Emma let out a blood-curdling scream. We rushed to her side, only to find strange marks forming on her arm, as if an unseen entity had touched her. "We need to leave now," I exclaimed, my heart pounding in my chest. We fled from the Laperal White House, never looking back. As we stumbled out into the night, we felt a profound sense of relief and terror. The Laperal White House had shown us that the paranormal was real, and that some places held dark secrets and malevolent entities that should never be disturbed. We vowed never to return, but the chilling memories of that night would haunt us forever, a constant reminder of the true horror that lurked within the walls of the Laperal White House in Baguio.